Hopefully you remember from going through the syllabus that we've got really four main themes that we're going to try and handle in this course. And this is something that I use to keep myself on track, and it's something that you should be able to use to think about what's important as we go through all these different civilizations. So, how do natural environments and geography shape the ways that ancient people view the world around them? How do they change those environments? Putting that a different way, how does where people live influence them? Right? If you grew up in a city, you're going to have different values than if you grew up in the country. If you grew up in a rainforest, you're going to approach life differently than if you grow up in Siberia, right? All those things are going to shape who you are, how you interact with people, what's important to you. So let's keep that in mind. With Gilgamesh, we know he lives in a desert environment. We know that there's a lack of wood. We know that clay is abundant, so they make cuneiform tablets and really strong walls off of it. We know that they harness the ability to fire weapons and create things that are going to protect them. All of those things shape how they see the world around them. We also know that because their life is really harsh, they think the gods are jerks. How do religion, politics, and culture intersect in these societies? Well, here we can certainly see the way that religion and politics intersect between Gilgamesh as a king and the way that gods are interpreted. When we get to Hammurabi's law code a little bit later, that's going to be even more evident. What types of things allow dominant empires to expand or allow individual rulers to consolidate power? Well, Gilgamesh is a fictional king, but there's probably some type of historical basis to him. So while we might not be able to say, hey, what made Gilgamesh so awesome? We can take a look at the civilizations that embrace this story and think about, okay, building strong walls to protect people in cities seems to be something that helps folks in ancient Mesopotamia, especially Sumeria and Babylon, cities like Ur and Uruk. Being able to control people, being able to harness huge amounts of labor, being able to inflict punishments, being able to use religious ideas to guide people's behavior. All those things seem to be elements that the Babylonians and Sumerians use. We might want to compare that as we go down the road. We don't see this so much here, but it's certainly going to come up a little bit. How do folks come in contact with each other, and how does that shape who they are? This is really important in thinking about identity formation, because more often than not, when somebody asks you, who are you, what are you all about, the easiest way to tell them is to use comparison, right? I, for example, am a huge University of Alabama football fan. And when people tell me or ask me what you like about Alabama football so much, I'm going to say things that are inherently comparative. I'm going to say, I love that they run the football, right? Maybe not so much with Sarkisian in charge, but Alabama's tradition is run the football, don't be fancy. What I'm saying there is that other teams try to get too fancy in their passing, and that's a big mistake. So when you think about how these people see themselves, also think about how that might compare to other individuals. Okay, that said, let's jump into Enkidu's dream.